Hi, everybody, this is Gerald Willies, and today I'm going to talk about these books. These are phenomenal resources for clinicians, and if you are an individual who's looking for natural health and trying to figure out what is your body needing to actually rebuild itself, then it comes down to understanding these books. And these books, I've got 4 of them, and they're all written by the same author. They're called this one's called Practical Hormone Therapy, but it's really a manual, if you see here, of organotherapy for general practitioners. And this one here, I love it. It's just so simple right here in the title, Organotherapy in General Practice. But I really like this one. When it gets something like it's nice and green and it's hardcover, and it's come from a library and it's been published in the 1940s, 1930s. This one is copyright 1922 by Dr. Henry Harrower. It's a little bit difficult to say because he's got, H-A-R-R, Harrower. But this guy is a pioneer. He was a pioneer, one of the original founders of functional nutrition or whole food nutrition in general. And it's a must read because oftentimes when individuals come into our clinic and they start to be recommended certain formulas that have organ extracts, so for example, they may have liver or kidney within the formulas. Keep in mind that health is only a result of all of your organs functionally optimally. Now, if you have organs that are not functionally optimally and they need to rebuild themselves, the best source of genuine replacement building blocks is coming from the actual organ itself. Now, for many of you who are not used to or accustomed to eating organ extracts or organ meats, keep in mind that our grandparents had it right. When I was younger, my mother, who came from a third world country and immigrated here, she would feed us, myself and my siblings, soups that would have hearts and tripe and kidneys and liver in it. And of course, we never thought anything about it. It was just like, hey, this is what's for dinner. This is what we eat. Even to this day, I'll go to a Vietnamese restaurant and they always have one particular pho that has organ meats. You have to actually select it. For the most part, all the other pho selections that they have available are going to have sliced meats of various types, whether it's most likely beef or something else. And I always opt for the ones with the organs. Why is that? It's because our organs, in order to function, are in need of a lot of minerals. They also have a lot of enzymes, and they're highly active. Now, where do you get those minerals? We know as a food that liver is the most nutrient-dense food on the planet. It's actually very rich in iron, vitamin B12. That's one of the reasons why certain individuals might have deficiencies in vitamin B12 is if they have a liver that's starving or undernourished, okay? And so even in Chinese cultures, there's a saying, it's basically 吃什么补什么. So if we were to break it down, it literally means you eat that thing and then you can supplement that thing. So oftentimes people will say eat liver to fortify the liver. So 吃肝补肝. And if you communicate or ask any native Chinese speaker about that expression, they will all have known that. They will all have understood it. They understand the meaning of it. It's timeless wisdom that still applies today. And that's one of the reasons why when we get positive results within our patients who are taking these formulas, their organs are finally receiving the genuine replacement building blocks to rebuild themselves. Okay. At the same time, there's many individuals who are looking to consume collagen or to include collagen within their shake routine every day to help support the protein matrix within their connective tissue. That could be the ligaments and tendons and the bones. Collagen is a form of the protein portion within connective tissue, but it's also not going to be nutrient dense to support the protein structure throughout the entire body. So that's why we encourage variety. So keep that in mind, that these organ extracts are there to allow your body to take as rebuilding blocks and also a source of nutrition. Because when we consume liver, think of your own liver. It's actually a storage site for a lot of the fat soluble vitamins, vitamins A, vitamin D, vitamin E, and even vitamin F. Okay. And then there's a significant amount of other new phytonutrients and minerals that are in there. And if you were to consume liver as a food, you would be thus taking in those specific nutrients to provide your own liver. We also find that historically, a lot of medical doctors will prescribe desiccated thyroid, which is a thyroid glandular extract, to help individuals who have thyroid hormone imbalances. And nowadays, oftentimes that could be the prescription nature thyroid, NP thyroid, or WP thyroid. Those are desiccated thyroid glandules, which your own thyroid gland can start to use to rebuild itself while also balancing hormone, because that particular drug that's being prescribed to medical doctors is also a source of bioidentical thyroid hormone. Okay, but keep that in mind that you're also able to repair and rebuild. When individuals are taking just the thyroid hormone alone, oftentimes there's synthetic versions of it like a synthroid or levothyroxine, then their thyroid is not receiving any rebuilding blocks. Instead, the thyroid actually goes to sleep. It doesn't have to build thyroid hormone, which is known as T4, thyroxine, okay, or T3. And so we oftentimes in our clinic prefer that when individuals are on some sort of thyroid hormone, that they communicate with their primary care or their prescribing physician to switch them to something that has the desiccated thyroid, so they can, number one, get the bioidentical hormone, and number two, they're starting to feed their own thyroid the genuine replacement building blocks, so eventually that they no longer need any type of exogenous hormone therapies for it. Okay, so here I'm going to show you a chart that Dr. Henry Harrower, it's based off the work of his book, where he established there's connections between each endocrine gland based on his research. He was a medical doctor, and here, let me show you on my screen. He's a medical doctor who actually details the connection between our hormone system, the hypothalamus, pituitary, and then the gonads. That can be in men, the testicles; in women, it's the ovaries and the corpus luteum. And then their connection to the parathyroid glands, which are right behind the thyroid. We've got the adrenals, and the liver's communicating with everything. We also have the thymus gland, which is right underneath the chest, the sternum here. And thyroid, we know where that is, the duodenum and the pineal gland right here. We also now know this as the third eye, and then this is the pituitary gland. So they're all connected, and they all have this interrelationship. And it's important to understand that when individuals unfortunately go and have one organ removed, or they're taking a certain hormone to substitute what their own glands cannot produce, all the other glands in that are communicating with them start to go out of balance. And so this becomes very, very important. In our clinic, we assess which organs are suboptimal, which organs are not functioning fully, and then we provide the proper nutrition specific to that individual that they need to start rebuilding that tissue or that gland. And all of it is based on the work of Dr. Henry Harrower. Now, he was a medical doctor, and there was a time where medical doctors were actually implementing this whole practice of organotherapy. Of course, over time, unfortunately, many of you know I was a former pharmaceutical sales rep, and the pharmaceutical company's influence started having the medical community, the conventional medical doctors, stray away from organotherapy and move into pharmaceutical therapy, which was merely trying to now address symptoms and diseases rather than feeding the body to restore function. Okay, so if you feel that you have certain organs that are not optimally functioning and you don't know which one, then give us a call. We'd love to help out. We can identify which organs are not optimal and figure out what exact nutrition you can provide those organs so they can start the rebuilding process. Okay, if you have any questions, you can reach me. Our website is nhicidaho.com. I hope that you are all healthy and happy, and if not, let me know how I can assist. Have a great day.